fellas.
What's up, Brandon?
How's everybody doing out there? I am Brandon Walker. To my left is Big Ev. To my right is Ben Mintz. I am flanked by about 600 pounds of gambling man meat. So it's good to see everybody out there.
A lot of man meat in this room.
A lot of man meat in this room. A lot of beef. But that's okay. We are actually not as much man meat as there used to be. Ben Mintz, you've lost about 60 pounds?
Yeah, about 60 since last March. There's a picture from a year ago when I was at Ole Miss UL Monroe baseball where I definitely, you can see I look like probably about 60 pounds, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still got a ways to go, but on the right.
What's your goal weight?
I weighed, so we had that weigh-in for Whoop the other day. I'm like right now I'm like right below 260. I'd like to get to 220 or 225.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be bigger. I'm not trying to be like 180. You know, I got a bigger frame, but I think 220 or 225 would be optimal.
230 is my goal weight. I'm not near it, but it's my goal weight.
You're also 6'5". I mean,
yeah,
I'm 5'10". I got a wide frame, but
6'5.5". Based on depends on which gas station I'm walking out of at the time. Big Ev, what you doing, bud?
Just plugging the show.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Big games for all three of our schools.
We
today.
are
moving on here.
We are. I'm starting to really believe in my Ohio State plus 685 to win the Big Ten. Now today's a gigantic day.
This is the one.
Today is a gigantic day for that. But we will. What are you guys testing? We got mic problems in here.
Yeah, the mic swung out right in front of Ev's face on the camera.
Oh, I see. We had some visual issues, not mic issues.
This is our moneymaker. We can't be blocking.
We can't be covering Big Ev's face. That'd be ridiculous.
You're good now.
Thank God.
Yeah, we only have one wiggle dicker in here.
Thank
God.
If
we lost
where did that come from? The dick wiggler thing.
I like the term wiggle dicker a little bit. I don't know why.
I believe Dave was the one who made the name Wiggle Dicker.
Yeah.
KFC was the inspiration for me to wiggle dick.
So he was, these TikTok dances, these ridiculous, stupid ass TikToks that make.
I got respect for it actually. Ev can move.
No, I'm not talking about his ridiculous. I'm talking about the fact that there's an industry out there of young women and young men that get rich off just doing stupid ass arm dances on TikTok. He did it as a fat guy, and anything is funnier as a fat guy.
Especially when you got moves like he does.
Yeah.
I was hitting those moves, man. See, now the problem is they just don't pop anymore because, see, now even a year ago when it first happened, they were just red hot, and now no one gives a shit about them anymore.
How much effort did you have to put into learning the dances? Let's say a normal TikTok, a girl puts out TikTok, what, hour for you, 2 hours?
Depends the level of difficulty.
Yeah.
There was a lot that would go into it because we would go out, we'd literally go out and get the clothes, like, so she could make them up exactly how they would wear them, and then thank God my girlfriend did dance her whole life, so she would learn the dance in about 5 minutes and then teach it to me.
So she was your choreographer.
Yes, she would learn the dance very quickly in about probably like 2-3 minutes. Let's teach it to me, and then we'd let it rip.
Let's dive very quickly into March basketball at the very top of the show, because if you're listening out there, you know that you've got basketball that you can watch on right now. We're watching Maryland and Michigan, which is totally screwing me up. It's not bothering Big F, but Michigan in white and Maryland in yellow is just ass backwards to me, and it's confusing me. I don't like it. It's confusing
Michigan.
I think this is a good play for Michigan, but it's actually Maryland that's driving down and taking a shot on the fast break. What happened there? They call it the other way? No,
I think they got a foul on the floor.
Okay, so we got Michigan, Maryland. Maryland's up 4 midway through the first half. I've got Michigan minus 8.5 there, so not a great start for that.
I have it as well.
On the early games, I got Mississippi State plus 8 against Alabama, and it's probably the most sure I've felt about Mississippi State in a long time. We played them twice, covered that number twice. I think Mississippi State's closer to winning this game today than they are losing by 9.
I'm on it as well. I got on plus 8.
I leaned State. I barely left it off my card, but I think that, like you said, they're very familiar with them. They played them close twice. We also, as we kind of said, Bama, feel like they might have already peaked a little bit.
I think I'm starting to worry that Michigan might have peaked, but I guess we'll see. It's a tough conference. I also have Western Kentucky minus 1.5 against UAB on the early games.
Fun match. Stansbury versus Andy Kennedy, the old Ole Miss State basketball match.
And let's see. I think those are I got Michigan minus 8.5 against Maryland, Western Kentucky minus 1.5, and Mississippi State plus 8. Those are the 3 early games I have, I believe, because UConn's later. Ole Miss is later, Florida State's later. Yeah, so those are the early games. You got any early games?
I have Wichita State minus 10 against South Florida, and I have Michigan by 8.5 in early games. And I'm glad I'm allowed in the studio after
Michigan,
performance yesterday.
Michigan felt easy to me, but it is not off to an easy start. So, Big Ev, what you got on the early games?
I'm on Michigan as well, which is probably, we're all on it, so it's probably a loser. I'm on Mississippi State +8 and UAB +2.5.
Shout out to the boys out there in Chicago. Barstool Sportsbook went live in Illinois yesterday at 11 Central Time, so it's still live there today. It's Barstool is taking over that state. The Barstool Sportsbook is taking over that state. We've already conquered Pennsylvania and Michigan, and we have moved on to Illinois. And if you're listening to my voice right now, if you're looking at my beautiful face, we're coming for your state. We're coming for you next. So we got to start a big push, me and you, get Barstool Sportsbook to Mississippi.
So it's the sport.
I don't talk about the legislation and all that because you'll just get frustrated and all that. Screw the legislators in Mississippi. We got to go down there and make this a grassroots campaign and let the people speak. Fuck them legislators. They just got rid of the fucking flag last year. We're going to trust these idiots with this?
Yeah.
You guys got to get boots on the ground.
We got to get boots on the ground. That's what we got to do.
I know they're turning the Maristar Vicksburg and Hollywood Tunica and Hollywood Gulf Coast. I'm hoping are going to be Barstool Sportsbooks in this casino soon.
Shout out to the commenters. I see you over here. I haven't talked to you yet, but Bros, Bumps, and Beer says all-time shirt by B-Walk today, so you know how to get my attention. Just credit my shirt. You know what? It's an exciting day for me. It's T-shirt buying day. I usually buy them 10 to 20 at a time.
It's Friday, T-shirt
Friday,
day.
It's T-shirt day. So
Payday's coming soon.
I can't wait to get home. I'm just going to sit in front. I go to my websites, and I got about 4 of them that I circulate through, and it's T-shirt day, baby. That's a big day for me.
You had your eyes on anything? Anything special?
Oh, I always have my eyes on something special.
What's the one? What's number one?
I can't do it. Can't do it. I love a good debut shirt day. When I walk in with a new shirt, it's just a better day for me. And I don't like to tell people what it is.
I feel like when you wear these shirts, you picture it's like that. People are just going to come out with cameras and be like, hey, Brandon's got a new shirt on.
Yes.
For the 75th time in the office.
So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I do need to have like a shirt giveaway. Because
people would love that.
I'm in about 400 shirts, and I am probably only wearing about 50 of them. So I should have a shirt giveaway. I don't know.
See, what you should do, you should take some of the inspiration you get from the shirts you buy, start designing some of your own. Start slinging them around.
So
here.
I do need to. I'm just not artistic. I'm not graphical. I can't do it. And
I'm the same. I'm awful at designing.
And
shirts.
We got great people here, though.
Nick, who's helped me design several things, he's very busy now. Like when me and Nick first started sitting together, I would give him an idea. He'd throw it together because he wasn't doing much. Now he and I are just busy, and I can't ask Nick Terani to do me a design. That'd be stupid. But I do need to get into my own designs. I appreciate that. B-Walk, I just ordered an Arn Anderson shirt. It's sick, so I have an Arn Anderson shirt I haven't worn yet. I have 2 shirts I haven't worn just yet. Mississippi is so bittersweet. We were one of the first to legalize sports betting and didn't do it mobile. Laugh out loud. I expect it to pass by the summer. That's what we got to get.
Yeah,
mobile betting's the game changer for us.
It is, and I think they're saying it. I think it really could pass by.
I mean, we've had casinos for 30 years.
Yeah, and I think the COVID thing, a lot of people in the South are like, well, let's allow gambling, but only in the casinos and stuff. But they realize, especially after COVID, people don't necessarily want to go in the casinos. They want to sit on their couch and be able to bet at home in Jackson or, especially areas that aren't close to the casinos. So I'm hoping it'll pass by summer there. Louisiana is going to legislation in April. I have some doubts on whether they'll pass the mobile, though. They screw everything up.
It is time to face the mortality of what March basketball is this year. And it's you kind of accept it as a sports fan. We've been following these sports for a year in these COVID times. So you understand there's going to be some casualties as far as teams not playing. Virginia is now lost. Now, this is a fantastic break for you if you really put in the Georgia Tech bet, which I assume you did.
I did.
So you had Georgia Tech plus 10. What was it?
Just 10 to 1.
10 to 1.
Plus 1,000.
Georgia Tech to win the ACC tournament. They just got a free ride to the ACC tournament finals. They will await either North Carolina or Florida State. Probably Florida State if I'm giving you a preview of my board.
I like Florida State also.
But I love Florida State. So Georgia Tech in the finals because Virginia has a COVID case. Therefore, they can't play today. Now, can they play next Friday? Can they play next Saturday? I don't know. I don't know what it means. But what's going to happen? We're going to have at least one top 4 seed in this tournament have to bow out, and somebody's getting a free ride to the next round. That's going to happen. And I don't know who it is, but you got to be especially imagine being a Gonzaga fan, a Michigan fan, a fan of Baylor, a fan of a team who's going to be a 1 seed and could presumably be right there to win your first national championship, but knowing that everybody's got to be so airtight and careful, and not just your players, your managers, your water boys, everybody. Like it's got to be terrifying.
I couldn't even imagine. I mean, you basically have to have these kids just on legitimate lockdown.
Right.
Lockdown. I'm thinking of a scenario, like imagine I think the Final Four, like the championship game, obviously I would think they would postpone. But Final Four, I think that should be a mark where they should postpone.
No, I think once we get to the Final Four, if there's a case, everything will get moved. Everything will get pushed back.
It has to.
But anything before that, like I don't know that the Elite Eight would get moved. I don't know
it's
if the
so
Sweet
tough with
16 would get moved.
the scheduling. It's very tough, and then especially with now like this. I mean, the season ends. I mean, the NBA draft's right around the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with that. They moved it back last year. I don't know if they'll move it back again.
So is Virginia in or out of the NCAA tournament?
They're definitely in.
No.
Oh, you're saying play?
Yeah, they're definitely in as far as resume, but there's a window here.
Yeah. I mean, they have a whole week.
Somebody said it's a 10-day window in the chat.
Well, my thing is, could they
could play Saturday?
Could they just play, like, obviously without the people who got COVID? I don't think that's been disclosed yet.
Somebody says as long as Virginia has 5 healthy players, they will play. I believe the NCAA has said that. So
because that's what I was going to say. Because even like the Duke situation, that stinks for them. Just it was like one guy who wasn't really a contributor. They could have played in like a week.
Yeah, it is definitely something that we that we will monitor. But as a sports fan, we made it through a football season, we made it through a baseball season, we made it through everything. So it's just something you live with, and hopefully the light is at the end of the tunnel, and by summer, the tunnel. You ever heard of a tunnel?
No,
it's like a tunnel through your tummy.
Tunnel?
A tunnel, yeah. I don't know why I said it. I didn't mean to say it.
I think you may have found something there.
A tunnel. Yeah. It's like a train going through your belly. What are you thinking about, Big Ev? You're just taking everything in stride today. You're very chill today.
So I did good last night.
Yeah, I saw you went 13-8.
Five my last 5.
And then also, I find it like great karmic that you got screwed out of Duke because of COVID at 50-1, but then you get it back on Georgia Tech. I mean, it's COVID giveth and taketh away.
See, I would have loved it if it was reversed. I would much rather have the 50-1 in the championship than the 10-1, but I'll take it. I will take it.
Can we talk about Marty's ridiculous hat yesterday?
The Duke hat?
The shape of it. Did you see it? I'll pull it up.
Oh, just how crooked the brim was?
Well, everything. It was like it was very round on top, and it was crooked. It was like it looked like he had never actually worn it. He just pulled it out of like.
It looked like he took it out of like a bin. That
correct.
Was
yes.
Full bin.
A full bin.
Like it was on the bottom.
It's been sitting under his baseball glove for a couple of years.
Yes, I agree.
And
I think he's. I mean, he also was wearing the same clothes he was wearing the day before.
Yeah, he realized, I got to act like a Duke fan today. Let me pull out this hat.
It is brutal for that to happen on a flight.
Yeah, that's
you're just in a spot where everyone's looking at you like, fucking idiot.
That absolutely sucks. He is a Duke fan. That's just an inside joke. Not even inside, it's just a joke. I just don't like. There we go. Let's score some points, Michigan. Maryland being in the yellow is fucking me up. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I think they wear yellow more than you must realize.
They wear yellow
quite
a lot,
often.
but they don't wear yellow a lot against Michigan. They got the M too. Like if you're not focused on it, it looks like they're playing.
And they can't.
And they're
miss.
hot.
They cannot miss.
Cannot
right now.
miss.
They can't miss.
I feel like this is going to be one of those games where it's like this. We're going to see a little Michigan flurry late in this half, and then Michigan's going to win by like 4.
Ty Baker with a question. What are the odds the national champion is a team outside the Big Ten or Big 12? Okay, so again, I think there's 3 teams that are above the rest. I would say Michigan, Baylor, Gonzaga. I think the odds are decent that it's a team outside the Big Ten or Big 12.
The Gonzaga.
I would say if you're talking about a conference to get 2 Final Four teams, it's definitely one of those, Big 10 or Big 12. Certainly can't see the SEC getting 1, much less 2. I can't see the ACC getting 2. I can't see, I guess maybe Florida State and Virginia could get hot if Virginia's in it. Maybe.
I'm a Florida State believer for sure. When they're cooking,
they're going to make a Final Four. Like that, Gonzaga's been a team that's been at the cusp of winning a national title forever, and they're going to break through. Florida State's been at the cusp of breaking through to that Final Four level for a while.
Yeah,
and it's time. I think last year they would have had a great shot to do it as well.
For sure.
But it's time that they break through and reach a Final Four.
They just have a ton of talent. They're like this. They're a little shorter, but like the same as Texas, and I'd say actually probably more skilled. They just have all these guys that are big and athletic.
Texas looks like an NBA All-Star team when they just take the floor and do their dunk line stuff.
That game last night was crazy too. With them, I had Texas. That was another. I had 3 kind of in a row that just came back from the dead. Penn State came back from the dead.
Yeah.
They were down like 17 or 19
Oh, wow,
with,
they
like,
covered?
with like 5 minutes left. They covered 5 and a
I went
half.
to bed when they covered.
They almost won. They only lost by 1.
Wow.
And then Texas was down 10 the second half. They came back and covered, or one that won outright. It was like a pick'em type game.
Blake Harris says Illinois is way better than Michigan, Brandon. Well, that's just not true. I mean, you can just say dumb shit, but Illinois is not way better than Michigan. Illinois might be playing better basketball right now, but there is no world where Illinois is way better than Michigan. That's just stupid fanboy crap bullshit. So I'll let you say it, but I'm going to make fun of you when you do say it, Blake Harris.
Because then that's a guy, you'd say that on Twitter, and then he'd reply back the scoreboard from the last game.
Right, which is fine. They were better that day, and frankly, they've been better the last week or two. But
for sure,
I don't think you can say that in any world, Illinois is way better than Michigan. I do.
No.
We live in the recency bias.
I do worry that teams like Ohio State, you said about Alabama, I do worry that Michigan maybe has played their best basketball. Maybe that's behind them, but we'll see. We'll see. That's why they have a tournament. Today we've got 4 ranked matchups. Number 9, Ohio State against number 20, Purdue. It's a big one for this fella to my left. Big one for me, too, frankly. Number 12, Oklahoma State against number 2, Baylor. Oklahoma State is one of these. They can beat anybody in the country.
For sure.
They have the most quad 1 wins of anybody. Texas against Kansas, 13 against 11 right there. And number 23, Colorado against number 24, USC. Just a quiet banger of a matchup in the Pac-12.
Some late games. I was literally up till like 2:30 sweating out Cal last night. Actually, never really sweated. Actually, they won. They covered 14 pretty handily, but it's crazy with these games.
Well, you tweeted out yesterday. This is not a leisurely day of basketball. This is you start at 11:30 a.m. and you're going to 1:30 a.m.
And it ended up going way further because the game was supposed to start at 11:30. It started at 12:30. So that Pac-12 game didn't finish till literally 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Were you all the way up?
Yeah. Oh yeah, till the very end.
Love it.
That is one of those. I do enjoy betting and then going to bed and waking up to a winner or a loser. Because waking up to a winner is an incredible feeling. And I never wake up at like 8 o'clock the next morning. I always wake up at 3:30 and have to check.
I'm a big like doze off at like end of the game couch guy. I'm a big fall asleep on the couch guy, wake up at like 3 a.m. and then go to bed.
That is my life. That is my entire life. I love falling asleep on the couch and then waking up because you get to go to sleep twice. Because as soon as you hit the bed, you're going to fall straight asleep, straight into deep sleep.
Zombie.
Yep. Get your little pee out. You're not going to have to worry about pee the rest of the night. Me, I pee 6 times a night. I'm 41. My prostate's going crazy. But everything's good. How's your life going, Ben Mintz?
My life's good. I'm jealous of y'all that y'all have nice couches because I'm still in this Airbnb where the couch we've got is one of those little small 2-seaters. And then if I fell asleep
Love
on
seat?
if I fell asleep, I'd wake up with cricks in my neck. And so I'm jealous of y'all.
Trista's in your neck?
No,
that'd be awful.
Yeah, that would be kind of rough. But yeah, I'm excited about today. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, Ole Miss all of a sudden playing for an NCAA tournament bid tonight now because Boise got beat, Xavier got beat, Duke COVID. Like the Red Sea is parted. But of course, this is like that time as an Ole Miss fan, right when you get really excited. You're historically known for getting let down, and I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm decked out in the red stuff for Friday. They're 1.5 point underdog against LSU. I think a win they're in. So I'm late game. I'm anxious all day waiting.
LSU Ole Miss, what a game! I'm rooting for a tornado to hit the stadium. So
battle of morals.
Somebody has a question. Kyle McDougall says, "Big Av, weird question. Do you use any products for that beard? I need some bad."
I do have a couple that I do use. I have a beard oil that maybe we should call them up. Maybe sponsor the show.
Okay, yeah.
Beard oil.
Well, let's be as selfish as we can, Big Av. Just get a sponsor for your beard. What about a sponsor for my man tits?
Or mine.
I'll sponsor my tits. If you want to slap a logo on me for a few bucks, I'll sell my soul.
What's going on out here? Who's that guy? I've never seen that guy in my life. Nick Terraney is just out here with a long-haired.
He's rather long.
Yeah, long hair.
Kind of greasy too.
This is a hobo-looking young man.
Nah, he's just a hippie.
I don't think he's a hippie. I think
that's like a Brooklyn hippie.
Owen! Somebody get Owen in here.
Is it that soundproof?
Apparently.
You said that pretty loud.
No, I think Owen's just stupid. Owen!
I'll get him.
Tom heard me.
Me and Owen drove back from Philly the other day. We bonded.
Is Owen?
We had a nice drive.
Is Owen deaf? Will somebody get me Owen?
At this point, he might just be ignoring you.
I think he's ignoring.
He might be.
I think Owen is big timing me. Owen been on the yak for 5 minutes. He's big timing me.
There he is.
Get your. Look, now he looks very upset about coming in here. Hey, Owen.
How's it going?
Remember that week where we were going to put you on the show and you just stopped coming?
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to come on uninvited.
I invited you for the rest of time.
I didn't know that.
Who's that guy?
That's LD from the Yak.
He's really here?
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't want to give it away. Never mind.
Yeah, just wait.
I'm going to wait.
Nice little
he'll
teaser.
probably be
Nice
on
little
the Yak,
teaser.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go, get out.
All right.
Stay on YouTube for the Yak after this.
I thought that was a joke. Okay, all right. What a yak we're gonna have. I'll be hosting the yak today, I believe, because I think Roan's out, but we apparently have a replacement. So, what? All right, very good.
Your eyes lit up when you heard that.
We have these characters that the yak has kind of come across, and one of them is here. So it'll be a fun show. Don't tell your friends. Don't tweet it. Maybe it was supposed to be a surprise, and I just ruined it. But that is what it is.
Well, Owen ruined it. You could blame him.
Correct. He could have just said, "I can't."
He could have said it was anyone.
Yeah.
You also were screaming his name.
Who, Owens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do that often, but I got some psychological issues. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have something we got to talk about because we're knee deep in March Madness. We'll talk about March Madness, but we got to talk some college football, and we're going to tie it back to college basketball.
Okay.
So it's going to be a discussion that starts in college football and it ends in college basketball. So did you guys see, I was gone all last week. I don't know if you ever talked about it. Did you guys see the Twitter list ESPN put out of the top 10 most electric college football players of all time?
I did not see it.
I think I did.
Was written by a 19-year-old production assistant who's never watched college football.
There was one glaring one that stood out
There's
to
two
me.
glaring ones. It's the worst list I've ever heard. And
Standards are crumbling in journalism.
This is embarrassing. It's terrible. I know the one you're going to say, but they're most electric players of all time in college football. And we were going to fix the list, and then we're going to use that idea, and we're going to crown the top 10 most electric players in college basketball. So be thinking about that. So their list was Reggie Bush, number 1. Fine. I don't agree with him at number 1, but he should
definitely a top
definitely be on the list.
top 5. Easy.
Number 2, Tavon Austin in West Virginia. Number 3, Saquon Barkley, Penn State. Number 4, Christian McCaffrey, Stanford. Number 5, Johnny Manziel, A&M. Number 6, Lamar Jackson, Louisville. Number 7, Braxton Miller, Ohio State.
Come on.
Number 8, Peter Warwick, Florida State. Number 9, Michael Vick, Virginia Tech. And number 10 is the most shocking, stupid, most ridiculous thing ever written by ESPN or any other somebody covering sports. Number 10 is Jabril Peppers. Jabril Peppers, whose career high was 66 tackles. Jabril Peppers, who had 1 career interception. Jabril Peppers, career high 3 sacks. Jabril Peppers, who returned 18 punts in his career. Not for touchdowns. He just returned 18 punts in his career, had 1 touchdown. Jabril Peppers is the dumbest thing I've ever seen ever in any list. That is the list of most thrilling, electric players in college football history by ESPN.
You're telling me, and I know this dude's 19 that probably wrote it, but I mean, all you had to do was just say Charles Woodson instead of Jabril Peppers.
Well, Charles Woodson would have been wrong too, but
I
that
mean,
would have been a much better answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Would have been a much better answer. So Braxton Miller has to come off the list. Jabril Peppers has to come off.
I don't think Braxton Miller belongs in the top 10. I think you're poo-pooing him a little too much. He was extremely electric.
He was a very good player that got benched because he wasn't good enough.
No, he hurt his shoulder.
And he had one.
He hurt his throwing
play against
shoulder.
Virginia Tech, one of the most electric plays I've ever seen. But
that was post quarterback.
But he doesn't have enough of that.
No, he shouldn't be in the top 10. As a quarterback, he was electric.
First of all, Reggie Bush shouldn't be number 1. You know who should be number 1? Vince motherfucking Young should be number 1. Vince Young is the most electric player I ever saw. Vince Young is far and away. And plus,
But the word electric, I think, is very like people use it in different ways.
Fine.
Because you could argue he was like the best.
But he was
he was electric.
He was a highlight factory too.
No, but I'm saying I think there's guys like I think Reggie Bush was more of a highlight factory.
Reggie Bush was only a highlight factory though.
But that's in my eyes.
Reggie
when
Bush,
I hear electric,
Reggie Bush did those highlights against Fresno State and Cal, whereas Vince Young was winning national championships.
No, that's
while
why I
doing
said
those
he
highlights.
might. You could argue he was better and more accomplished. Like, because even Manziel probably is a better like highlight tape. And I agree with you. He was
Than
doing
Vince Young.
No, I'm saying he was doing it against Louisiana Tech, and like he had that big bowl game against Duke, and like he also had some great plays against Bama and stuff like that. Also throwing balls to Mike Evans. I totally get it. I get it.
Here's my first of all on their list. I think Peter Warrick is very underrated, and I like that he's on the list. Michael Vick should go way up from number 9. That's ridiculous. He was the most in 1999. He was the most electric player we'd ever seen, bar none. Tavon Austin needs to come down. I think Reggie Bush comes down a couple spots to make room for Vince Young and Cam Newton. Christian McCaffrey, very good player, very effective. I would never call him electric. He was a good player, good running back, but
Not top. I think he was not top 10.
He's a boring I-form running back. Like he's effective.
He broke some big like straight head runs, but
Johnny's fine. Braxton Miller comes off. Javel Peppers needs to be nowhere near the.
Can I bring up another thing with Javel Peppers that year? The year that he was a Heisman finalist was the most just gross travesty. He had no
business.
zero business being in that group. And I love him on the Giants. I think he's better on the Giants than he was at Michigan. He's a great NFL box safety. He's really good.
So I have 10 guys that aren't on their list that I thought should. I could write a list of my own that's better. Not using anybody. Like I'm not using Reggie Bush because he's on their list. Okay, even though he would be on any top 10. Darren McFadden, Pat White.
Ooh, yeah.
Ed Reed at Miami, which changed the game. RG3, Tommy Frazier at Nebraska.
RG3, yeah.
Honey Badger needs to be on any
No
list.
question. Honey Badger was the first one that came in my head.
Honey Badger has to be on the list.
Peppers over Honey Badger?
Like this game-breaking plays. Like this dude would literally just score a touchdown.
Just
take the ball from you, score a touchdown.
Percy Harvin 4, Barry Sanders 3, Cam Newton 2.
Barry Sanders he had 2,800 yards in 1988. He averaged like 270 a game.
And Vince Young number 1. And there's just a whole list of. That's just the first list I came up with. There's so many names here that didn't get mentioned.
Aaron McNair,
Bo Jackson, Steve McNair,
Herschel Walker.
And if I had to do an Ohio State guy, you know what I'd say? Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn was electric. Bo Jackson, David Palmer at Alabama, Jameis Winston, DeAnthony Thomas at Oregon, Devin Hester at Miami, Randy Moss at Marshall, Steve McNair, Michael Bishop at Kansas State, Larry Fitzgerald.
Darren Sproles is electric.
I think say Sproles, yeah.
If you had to have a Michigan guy, I think Denard Robinson's the answer.
For sure. Shoelace.
Crabtree at Texas Tech, LaDainian Tomlinson at TCU, Adrian Peterson,
AP
Oklahoma.
for sure.
I
think it's more. I think because even like Jameis Winston, I would not like. He was that first year. He was unbelievable. I just wouldn't use the term electric.
He was electric that first year. I thought.
To me, electric is like these big plays. Like he doesn't run with the ball.
Yeah,
or not very often.
That debut when he hit his
Against
first
Pitt?
15 passes.
I'm telling you,
Monday night.
I'm telling you, on my mother's life, I called my father after that game, first game, his first start. I said they're going to win national championship. He's going to win the Heisman. My life.
I love that you mentioned that.
My life.
I had him 33-1 to win the title that year from the summer. That was one of my best futures bets
Can
ever.
we just talk about how Michigan's leading this game at the half?
Tell me, did I not say they were going to go in a flurry right before the half?
I might take them second half with the momentum they just went.
I just can't like Tavon Austin at number 2 he was electric, but I think West Virginia Pat White
or Steve Slayton.
Pat White or Steve
was
Slayton
awesome.
more electric. And certainly Jabril Peppers is not top 500.
He's not top. Yeah, he's not top 1,000.
Yeah, he's nowhere close to the top 1,000. I just think a lot of these guys. I never even mentioned
what about Cordell Stewart,
the 80s guys like Slash, Doug Flutie. I didn't mention him. Deion Sanders, Brett Favre, Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, Barry Sanders, all from the 80s. Maurice Clarett. I don't think he was electric either. He was
Randy
good.
Moss.
Randy. I mentioned
you
him.
had. I would say Marshall. He's unreal.
But I would go if I had to go 1, 2, 3 though. I probably go Vince Young 1. I go Cam Newton 2, and probably Reggie Bush 3.
For me, Reggie Bush is definitely in the top 3. See, to me, like it's like if you want to talk competition.
Hard to Vic on the electricity too.
Me, it's so I can't like I was when he was playing in college. I was like 4 or 5 years old, so I didn't get that like visual like. I'll do the ones. I'll just speak on ones that I got to like actually appreciate.
Hold on. Somebody says Tim Dwight. Don't ever talk in this again. Please.
Iowa Tim Dwight.
Iowa punt returner Tim Dwight. I'm sorry.
I want to add Marshall Faulk at San Diego State to this list.
Most electric. There's no Iowa player has ever gotten in this list. Maybe Brad Banks. Marshall Faulk, correct.
San Diego
I think
State.
I skipped him. I also skipped C.D. Lamb, who's sneaky electric.
No,
at
he
Oklahoma.
was for sure.
Yeah. So
did you say DeAnthony Thomas?
I did.
Yeah. I missed
Dennis
that one.
Dixon for like 6 games.
Mariota was something.
Mariota was
that
pretty
whole
electric,
Oregon
Chip Kelly
program
era.
went through about a 5-year period where they were just all electricity.
every quarterback.
Yeah. So
solely.
that was just a terrible list that they put out. It's embarrassing. And I wasn't here. I was out of town last week, or I would have. B-Walk, how the fuck is this an intro to March Madness? Suck my nuts, all right? It's an hour show. We're watching basketball. We're talking sports. This is not always – I'm not going to sit here and go down. This is not fucking ESPN radio. I'm not Doug Gottlieb. Just we're talking sports, all right? We'll get to March Madness. We've talked about it all week. I think an hour of just blandly talking about games isn't what you come to Barstool for. So, sorry. If you want to go watch, there's plenty of people out there just talking March Madness right there. You boring prick. Go watch them. Yes?
Agreed, for sure.
Okay. All right. So that was that. And now we're going to tie it back to March Madness because it's March after all. We're going to talk college basketball. If I tasked us right now with coming up with the most electric college basketball players, and let's not say all time because it's not fair. You didn't see Pete Maravich play in college, neither did I.
Sure did not.
But any old man will tell you that Pete Maravich deserves to be there. So let's say, I'll just say of our lifetime. So that's a different
starting in the 90s.
starting
like
in the
Fab
80s,
Five.
starting in the 80s for
Okay.
me, starting in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s for him, starting in the early 90s for
Okay.
you probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
So of our life, who would you nominate as the most electric college basketball players you ever saw? I have a couple if you guys would like me to get started.
Go for it.
I just had one that when you said that.
I
immediately
want you
popped in
okay,
my head.
I want you to say yours. Say it.
Marshall Henderson.
Oh,
In
I
terms
love
of just
it.
electricity.
I love it.
Because to me, it doesn't embody being like this. Electricity isn't all about being the best player.
It's about swagger.
Like electricity is hitting a 35-foot jump shot and then looking at the opposing crowd and flipping them off, jumping on their table and flexing your jersey in their face. Like that's electric. To me, that's electric. That embodies electricity.
I had a different name that came to mind immediately.
And this is why I said electric means different thing to everyone. It's not to me. It's not being the best player.
Who came to your mind?
Allen Iverson.
Okay, Allen Iverson did not come to my mind, but that is also a very good
Yeah,
one.
but just
Yeah.
like the way he played, just being that short, and Steph Curry too. That runs.
Really, all time, you go Marshall fucking Henderson.
Well, not all. He just was who popped in my head. I would have said Curry, like Jimmer. Jimmer definitely would be on like just dropping 40.
Can you
and
stop and let me have a name? You're taking all the names.
I said 3.
Oh, okay, that's
But you also have a longer list to pull from. I'm basically going from 2000 on.
I had Steph Curry, Jimmer came to mind. These are all from the last 20 years. Zion Williamson. We only saw him for a year, but he has to be. I mean, like I would stop what I was doing to watch Zion Williamson play basketball,
sure.
and it was only
President came to the UNC Duke game
yeah, it
that
was
year.
only the overrated mess that is Coach K that ruined Zion Williamson. Adam Morrison was pretty electric too. Adam Morrison was
Stash,
pretty
too.
good, and then this is one that I don't like Duke, but when Jay Williams had the basketball back in the early 2000s, it was he was one of those who would pull from 40 feet and just stare at you. Jay Williams was electric. Maravich, Magic, Bird, all these guys. I'd like to now. I'm going to go to the chat for everybody who's saying some things. Buddy Hield, good, not electric.
He was just when he would get hot, he was red hot. So I could see someone saying that name.
I want to say Shaquille O'Neal.
Trey Young was very.
He was electric.
I like these names. Anthony Davis, I say no. Shabazz Napier, I just say he was a killer. I don't know if he was electric. I would say Kimba was more
Kemba
electric.
was big time
Oh,
electric.
Kimbo was nuts.
Kemba
man.
was big time
Woo,
electric.
yeah.
This is good. This is good. We're talking things out. I like this. We're getting a lot of names out there. Grant Hill, no, he was very.
What do y'all think of Shaq? I mean, he was like the first of his kind. Nobody had ever seen.
Okay,
people
I got a better one. You just reminded me of LSU. If you're talking about electricity
Chris
from
Jackson.
LSU, Chris Jackson.
Yeah.
Chris Jackson, later Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, was unbelievable in college. Unbelievable. He was Jimmer before Jimmer was Jimmer. He was just he'll go out and shoot 12 threes and drop 40 without even breaking a sweat. That was late 80s.
I would even consider like some of those Cuse teams. They had even like Devendorf and some of those guys were pretty electric. Is that too regional for me to say?
Yeah, I think that's a little.
I remember John Wallace was. I don't know if electric was the term. But
I
he
So-
put it
I
on
just
his
remember
back.
I used to love watching Devendorf and some of those guys.
Somebody says Vince Carter. Vince. The thing about Vince was, I think he had some dunks in college, but he didn't become half man, half amazing Vinsanity until he got to the Raptors and the court opened up for him. Like North Carolina did a great job back then, just hiding what they had. Like you never saw Michael Jordan He wasn't Michael Jordan in North Carolina. He was a very good player, National Player of the Year, but he wasn't the Air Jordan. And Vince Carter he had some moments at Carolina. It was like, wow, but he wasn't Air Canada until he got to Canada. That makes sense.
Fair.
He wouldn't be
Fair.
Air Canada in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
No, sure not.
Jason Williams was way better than Marshall Henderson. I agree. Trey Burke. No, see, you guys are just naming guys.
Trey
now.
Burke was he had some big moments.
Carson Edwards is named by the chat.
He was pretty electric. He used to wear the wrist tape, which I actually kind of like.
I hate when guys are just fans of the team. Like Smitty version 2.0 is a good commenter. Just says 4 Arizona players. Don't be a homer bitch.
You know who was really electric, but he was on a team that was just I've talked about him several times. That 4 team. Corey Brewer was. I mean,
what was that noise?
Well, I went to this game. I went to an Ole Miss Florida SEC semifinal game in 2008 in Atlanta, and Florida was up 47-12 at the half, and Corey Brewer threw down like 7 alleys. And I literally was just sitting in the stands, just like in awe of watching this greatness. I mean, he was, man.
You guys don't mind. Big F, can you talk for a second so I can check the Mississippi State score?
Honestly, in my head, I was just trying to think of some, because we were talking about a lot of big 3-point shooters. I was trying to think of some like big college dunkers.
Oh God,
what's the score?
No, just shut up.
Bama by 1 million.
Yeah,
shit.
By 1 million.
Shit.
I'm trying to think big other college ones. There's a lot of go. There's a.
Would you consider J.J.
Alabama's
Redick?
in the Great Depression and Mississippi State's still in the Titanic. That's how big the score difference is.
Yikes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Think it was a football game.
I would see it. Okay, so J.J. Redick was 100% electric.
I would say so.
Yeah, and if he's one of those guys where the NBA's done the opposite to him, where it's made him less electric.
Mm-hmm.
He's just very
He's just like a catch and
spot
shoot.
up shooter. He's a robotic guy, but in college he was. I mean,
he was averaging like almost 30 a game.
He and Adam Morrison that year were the 2 most exciting players.
Oh yeah. What about Ray Allen? Just a smooth jumper, but man, whoo.
Yeah, Ray Allen was good. Mississippi State ended his career 60-55. Yep, sure did. Rupp Arena. Mississippi State.
Remember, Garrett Temple got Redick.
96 Final Four. Mm-hmm. Larry Johnson.
Oh, the old UNLV running Rebs.
That was another roster where the whole thing was electric.
J.R. Ryder.
No, he was on that team, but it was Stacey Augmon,
Greg Anthony,
Anderson Hunt, Larry Johnson, and
running Rebs,
and a big guy, Claxton maybe. I can't remember.
Those teams were
unbelievable, and Duke beat that team, beat them 69-67, I believe, and after a year after Duke had lost by 30 in the national championship game. Jerry Stackhouse, Johnny Flynn was pretty electric too. Johnny Flynn was so electric he got drafted ahead of Steph Curry, like a bunch of idiots.
Wow.
Remember when they did that?
Oh, Blake Griffin.
Yeah, somebody said Blake Griffin.
Oh, did I say that already?
Oh, I probably didn't read it.
I was trying to think of someone who was just yamming dunks in college.
We're having trouble getting the electricity vibe out to the audience because I'm sorry, Tyler Hansborough was the opposite.
Yeah, he's steady.
He was like acoustic. He was an acoustic basketball player.
He just was polarizing.
He was effective. He was like Christian McCaffrey. He was effective, but he wasn't electric.
He just had like that attitude, like he was getting very mad. His nose would bleed. Definitely wouldn't say someone just like making layups is electric.
No. If you don't dunk, I don't think you can be electric. Well, unless you're a big 3-point shooter.
Yeah, like Steph Curry.
But if you're 6'9", if you're 6'8" and you don't dunk, you're not really that electric.
The opposite of electric.
The absolute opposite. You're unplugged.
He's a good square basketball player,
and sometimes that's okay.
You win. They won a lot.
They won a national title in 2009, North Carolina. Okay, speaking of
Brown.
D. Brown, Illinois.
Yeah,
maybe.
Did you watch Dominique in Georgia? Or was that before your time?
A little before my time.
That was before my time, but that had to be something.
Penny Hardaway. The problem with Penny was he was only in Memphis for like 5 minutes. He had that one nice tournament run, but he was only at Memphis for. And I guess that's the problem of college basketball now, right? These electric guys like the 3 and 4 years don't happen anymore. Zion was electric for when we saw him.
Because now it's like if you're that electric, you're probably going to the NBA.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
And soon those guys won't be in college at all.
No.
I think we're going back to the old rule of going straight to the draft. So soon we won't get those guys even a little bit, which is fine. I think they should be able to get their money. Marcus Camby was a pretty exciting big man.
Oh, yeah. 96. That team was really good.
I don't think so. They were good. Carmelo Travieso and Edgar
Padilla.
Padilla.
Yeah, you remember them too. I remember growing up watching
Again, 1996 Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was right here in New Jersey. Mississippi State, Kentucky, UMass, and Syracuse. And Syracuse cheated. That's the only way they won the semifinal game. What?
I just remember them winning. I don't remember them cheating, but
Well,
I remember that state team. Was
Mississippi
awesome.
State does
Dude,
not lose contests. They either quit them because they're unfair or they get cheated.
I actually saw that 96 state team. They played in UL Monroe when I was a kid. Man, Dampier and Dante Jones.
Dante fucking Jones, motherfuckers.
Dante's Inferno.
Dante Jones. Let me tell you something else that is electric and in Fuego, and I can't believe this guy is. He looks like a 6'2" Bailey Carlin. That's what he looks like. I don't know if you guys can
that's a
see
good
him.
description.
That's exactly what he looks like. He
He
looks
had a
like
stash.
Bailey Carlin.
He looks like he ate Bailey
a
Carlin.
grown man's pituitary gland. So here we go. Stable Duel is electric. I love fantasy sports. I love horse racing. You know what else I love? Winning money.
Yep, pretty good.
That's what this show is all about, and Stable Duel gives all of it to you. Finally, horse racing has a contest where playing Stable Duel brings more action with its fantasy-style game where you can play against others for big money payouts. It's similar to fantasy football. You select your stable of 10 horses, watch the points rack up. There's also daily games with big cash prizes, easy to use even if you're new to the sport. So download the Stable Duel app right now and start playing right out of the gate. That's STABLEDUEL app. Go check it out wherever you get your apps. Stable Duel. All right, see, there goes Bailey. These guys, it's like a father-son out there. I don't know. He's gonna be on the yak. This mystery guest, which I assume if you're watching, we actually have a camera out there, so it's not really gonna be that big of a surprise. You want to get right back into picks?
I got one real quick. I'm thinking about jumping on Michigan's 5.5 in the second half. They're up 2, has a lot of momentum at the half. I actually think Michigan's going to come out here, and I kind of like them second half.
Somebody says, what's going on with Mississippi State? Well, it appears they're getting their ass kicked. That appears to be what's going on. It is now 29-12. Western Kentucky down.
My yesterday was like that.
This could be a disaster of a day for me.
I tweeted it yesterday. I said it's 1:01 p.m. and I feel like I'm already going down with the ship because I started 0-3, and I did. I ended up 3-9. And Ev, you came back 5.5 games on me yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was big, especially 21 plays. Gotta win a few of them. Have to.
I mean, I know this is hilarious. I was happy to be 3-9 because I was 1-8 and I went 2-1 in the last
there
3.
There you go. You're 2-1 in your last 3.
Yeah, but that's like funny. I was like, I'm 3-9, and I thought it could have been worse. That's how bad yesterday was. I finished that the under and Ole Miss hit last night in UConn big too. Brandon, you were right about Ole Miss.
All right, Smitty, we'll block you. All right, stop spamming the chat. Stop spamming the chat. I looked it up. You're wrong. Stop spamming the chat. You're ruining the experience for everybody else.
That's weird too. He's usually a good chatter.
He usually is, but he's spamming and he needs to get the fuck out. That's embarrassing for a grown man to do that. Mississippi State basketball is almost as pathetic as Brandon's life, says the guy who's watching me on YouTube during his lunch break. What else we got, Big Ev? You want to get right into picks?
We can get into picks. I'm hot.
I am guessing that since you said you're hot, that you won yesterday. Last night's results. Boy, Big Ev 13-8, heavy card. 13-8, Big Ev. Rico Bosco 7-5, which is just below his shoe size. Brandon Walker 5-6. Marty Mush 0-3 with an asterisk. Why is there an asterisk?
Because he definitely had more than 3 picks. I mean,
I know he was even worse.
At one point, he tweeted out, "I'm 0-5 already," but he only tweeted out 3 picks, so that's all we had to track.
Why isn't he sending picks to you?
He should be tweeting them regardless of sending them to me or not.
There's no chance
didn't.
Marty Mush had 3 picks yesterday.
He only tweeted out 3 picks yesterday.
So why isn't he answering our deadline to get picks to you is
where
10:30 every day?
You remember he was breaking.
He tweeted out 3 at the time.
He was giving me shit when I was doing so bad, and I started giving out less plays. And he was roasting me, saying, if you play it, you got to give it out.
The busiest day of college basketball, we're supposed to believe Marty Mush had 3 picks?
Sandbagging Marty.
This is embarrassing.
Sandbagging Marty.
Are they streaming right now?
I wish I only had 3 picks yesterday.
Damn, I need to call. I was going to call him, but they're streaming. Ben Mintz was
atrocious.
Oh, God. You okay, big guy?
Honestly, like I said, I got lucky to go 3-9, Brandon. It could have been worse.
3-9.
I mean, it was like I was 1-8. And also, I want to mention, like I said, we are all about accountability. Remember when Marty called me out on here for sending that text on Saturday? Like I got a chance at 7-0.
Yeah,
I'm 6-22 since I sent that text on Group Pick Central. I
It's
started chirping. You know, you start chirping at the gambling gods. They
Yeah.
come back, and I had that great stretch, and now I'm in four.
You start buying your own hype, and you're in trouble.
We suck again.
Mitzi, we call that a lesson. It's a lesson.
Are you going to learn? Are you going to move on from it?
Yeah, but the only thing, it's like Barstool. You have to chirp when you do good. I mean, that's
Yeah, but
like,
see,
we don't do anything.
the problem was you chirp before the day was over.
That's it.
If you would, I said you wait till the next morning, you walk in here, slap your 12-inch cock on the table, and say I went 7-0.
I mean, I just don't think Marty can be eligible for not that he's threatening for it. He can't be eligible for the belt this month if he's only going to act like he had 3 plays yesterday.
I mean, we could get him to send his picks retroactively, but that's all we had to track. He tweeted out 3 picks, and when I asked him for picks in the morning, he said I tweeted some out, and that's what we had.
Stone Barrington, that's an embarrassing name, says ignore the comments, B-Walk. No. I love the comments. I love the fact that we can go back and forth with each other. We can roast each other.
I think by ignoring the comments, you ignored that comment.
Yeah.
He said ignore the comments. You said go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I immediately read it. Stone Barrington. Sounds like a soap opera actor. A terrible soap opera. Bold and the Beautiful is not a terrible soap opera. I wish I was at home to watch it. I wonder what Ridge is doing these days.
Is Young and the Restless still going? Or
Yeah. Victor Newman's still kicking.
Okay.
Yeah. I think all the rest, I think those are the only 2 on CBS. As the World Turns, I think is done. Guiding Light's done. I don't know. Or Days of Our Lives still going, right? Yes? Nobody knows?
Why are you asking me?
Yeah, I don't think the youngins are.
I think that's one of those ones that my mom would watch at like 2 in the afternoon.
I think Days of Our Lives is still going, but I think it might not still
The
be
hospital one is still on. That's
General
one my
Hospital?
Mom watches.
General Hospital?
I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she watches that.
Okay. I wonder how many they're still going. Chat, tell me if I know the Price is Right. That's what a sick day was for me. Price is Right into Young and Restless.
Have you watched?
Sick day for me was Maury.
Maury?
Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
That's what it was
Springer.
for me.
Yeah.
Maury, Springer, Steve Wilkos.
Yeah.
He was actually. I used to like
I used to
Wilkos because he
catch
was
him
a
up, Ron.
big, intimidating motherfucker.
Yeah.
He was just grilling these sacks of shit.
All right. Jacob Dodalski says, you don't seem to enjoy reading the comments. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. I like it. I enjoy fighting the good fight. But yeah, that was Days of Our Lives is still going. Thank you, 10-man 3-2-1. What else? So we got picks. Big Ev was 13-8 last night, and he gets to lead us off. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'm already on. I said it earlier. Michigan -8, Mississippi State +8. All right, Michigan -8.5. Mississippi State +8, UAB +2.5. I'm on Ohio State in a pick'em. Cincinnati +5.5. Seton Hall -2.5.
It is 35-12. Mississippi State is going to be 35-12.
It's a loser.
Starting slow. They'll be
It's a
back.
loser.
Why even show up? 35-12?
Get it to under. Cut the lead
It's
to
like my dating life when I was 35 dating my wife.
cut it to like 18 by the
What?
half.
Nothing.
How old's your wife?
Now she's 18.
Okay.
All right.
I'm 41. Nothing. Anyway, go. What?
Then I got Seton Hall -2.5. Oklahoma State +9. I will have a night card out. I have some of it prepared.
But when you do it, you tweet it out and people see it.
I said I'd tweet out. We're on 2-a-days now. A lot of basketball 2-a-days. I'll have a
I
night
get that.
card.
I think that's fine. There's a break between after the
I'll have
second
a
games
night
before-
card out at like 4.
No, that makes
It'll
sense.
be
And
out.
All right.
there's a break after the second games before the night.
By the way, I don't think we've talked about this enough, but the Big Ten basketball tournament, which we're watching Michigan kind of start to put it on Maryland a little bit. I think they're up 2, maybe 4. We could be heading towards tomorrow, Michigan against Ohio State in one semifinal, Illinois against Iowa in the other, and that would be fantastic.
Awesome.
That would be an incredible day of Saturday basketball. Michigan, Ohio State, Illinois, Iowa. Michigan is starting to play a lot better against Maryland. You got to make that shot.
Get in there.
You've got to make that shot.
He's got 30 rebounds.
You get an 8-foot shot, uncontested. You've got to make that
just
shot.
how demoralizing for Maryland to shoot 63% from the field and go in the half losing.
That's what I took.
like you can't come back from.
I
that.
jumped on Michigan. That's why I mentioned it.
They,
jumped on
Michigan
second
might not cover, but they're going to win this game.
Mississippi State +8 against Alabama was one of my picks. That seems to be. I don't think they'll cover +80 at this point. Western Kentucky -1.5 against UAB. Arkansas -4.5 against Mizzou. UConn money line against Creighton. Ole Miss money line to beat LSU.
Let's go.
Florida State.
Love it. You've been right on the Rebs when you take them usually.
Trust me, if I take Ole Miss, you better tail it because
I love them tonight.
It mentally takes a
I'm on
lot.
it too.
Psychologically takes a lot. If I get to that point where I'm willing to publicly back Ole Miss, you better take it.
It's just spot. It's a pick 'em like they shouldn't be a pick 'em with LSU. It's gonna be a game.
Florida State -2.5 against North Carolina. This was actually my favorite play on the board. I think Florida State is just they lost that game to Notre Dame. They lost to North Carolina a couple of weeks ago, and this line, they're a much better team than North
It's
Carolina.
interesting that they hadn't played yet in the ACC tourney, and Carolina's on their third game in 3 days.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think it gets in that weird part of the tournament once it gets to like that third game for some teams where you debate whether it's like, are they hot or are they're going to eventually burn out a little bit playing all these games. And Florida State's just fresh.
Michigan -8.5 against Maryland, said it already. Sixers -5 against Wizards, and Lakers -4.5 against Pacers. But the more I look at that, the more I think, why are they only 4.5? That seems like they're begging me to take the Lakers, but I'm going to walk right into that trap. And Dickinson's going to work, boys.
Ooh,
Well, that was
shot.
awful.
That was ugly.
That was the worst shot I've ever seen. It looked like
I think it slipped out of his hand.
it had to. Ben Mintz.
All right, let's go for it. Bounce back day. I got Michigan by 8.5, Wichita State by 10 over South Florida, Arkansas by 4.5 over Missouri, Oregon by 8.5. I'm just riding Oregon blind right now. They're so hot. UConn +1 against Creighton, Ole Miss +1.5 against LSU, under 133 in Florida, Tennessee, Georgetown +3 against Seton Hall, Oklahoma State +9 against Baylor, Wisconsin +4.5 against Iowa, and I'm yanking. I had Illinois on my original card. I'm yanking that because Rutgers matches up pretty good with them, and I'm going to jump on Florida State with you guys.
I looked down. It was 44-42. I looked over here. I looked back. It was 49-42. It's like that.
They just hit a big three. That's why they called the timeout.
49-42 Michigan. By the way, it is 39-12.
Wow.
This is embarrassing.
It's like that Florida Ole Miss game.
Mississippi State basketball.
But it's one of those things. If you're gonna lose, like just now, it's over.
No.
I get it's your team, so it's tough. But
You
it's
don't
like,
feel like that.
Like me, I'm just like, all right, that's a loser. Like 0-1. Like just chalk it up.
Yeah, you can throw that away, but I can't.
In gambling, you can throw it away, but if it's your team, it's
It's just it's the Ben Howland era has.
I mean, you were talking before your exact quote on the show was that they were more likely to win than get blown out.
The Ben Howland era of Mississippi State basketball has been probably the most disappointing era of my life.
Is this a fireable loss that stays this pace?
No, I think he's been. I think I've wanted him fired for a while because there's just no energy or
rudderless.
There's no energy to the program at all. It's just blah. It's just there. Like they're 15-15 every year. They don't beat anybody important. They beat Kentucky yesterday for the first time in 10 years. That's embarrassing. It's just
the
just
style's
gross.
defensive too, and so it's not really. It doesn't get.
No, it doesn't
excited.
work. It doesn't work in today's. You know what I need? I need my edge back.
Yeah.
I need my body
Sure
armor
do.
edge. That's what I need.
Need that powerful punch.
I need that.
Nice transition.
I need that powerful punch. I need that berry blitz. I need that orange frenzy, and I need that tropical chaos. That's what I need. Boom! We got it right in front of me. The Body Armor Edge, that new drink with the great nutrients and the caffeine. It's fantastic. They're our favorite sports drink, Body Armor. Just came out with this. It's a new sports drink and caffeine called Edge. 100 milligrams of caffeine, 1,000 milligrams of electrolytes to keep you going through tonight. It's going to be a long night.
Long night.
Need this to keep going through that gambling, give you that edge. It is. It's delicious. They got 4 flavors. There goes Jeff D. Lowe carrying his little dog. That's just a fantastic image right there. Hello, little dog.
Mimosa.
Mimosa is the name of the dog.
Yes.
I don't think I knew that.
Nice dog.
I don't.
I like little dogs.
Do you like?
I know that's weird because I'm a big man, but I'm a sucker for a little dog. I love little dogs.
Do you like when people bring their dogs to work?
I like when they bring that dog to work.
Yeah.
I think it's case by case.
So yes, there are some dogs that come here that aren't.
I enjoy Jeff's dog.
That dog is very well behaved.
I like that
it will
dog.
sit right on that little blanket beside him all day.
No leash, nothing. Just
Nothing.
sit there.
Now some dogs. Billy's dog took the biggest dump I've ever seen a dog take, and he just let it sit there. Yes, in the game room, in the game time room.
Wow.
And he went and did PMT for an hour while that shit sat in there. That's not a joke. You guys are laughing fun, ha ha. But it was something. Of course, it was a puppy, so I don't blame him too much for that.
Did you see the rankings reveal for the dozen?
I didn't. I've been doing this.
Oh,
shit.
I need to.
We were sick. We're sixth. The screaming. Hawkers.
We can talk about it now. How you feel about that loss the other day? You guys were this close, and you had the winning answer. You said the winning answer.
It was.
But in fairness, you did say Lou Williams is my guess, but I don't think that's it. That's what you said.
Did I say I don't think that's it?
Yeah.
I remembered I wasn't like confident, but I was the only person to say a name. Because in my head, I was like, I know he got drafted by Philly. He's on the Clippers right now. I wish we had talked. I wish he had at least taken mine and not just thrown one out the buzzer that I knew immediately was not correct.
Yeah.
He's not in the Clippers.
PJ Tucker's never played for the Clippers.
No, ever. The only one, because I knew in my head I was going through the teams. I was like, I know he got drafted by the Sixers. I know he played for the Lakers. I was like, obviously I know he's on the Clippers now. I weirdly was having a mental block on the Rockets, but then even at the very end, I was like, I know he did play for the Rockets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mississippi State has scored a point. It is now 41-13.
All right.
So fuck the haters. Fuck all your drama. We are coming back, and Dickinson is taking over. That's not Dickinson. Michigan
is Franz Wagner.
I'm glad I jumped to that Michigan second half.
They're on a 28-6 run.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
look like they're about to beat the crap out of them.
I think there's how many games is for Maryland? Is this their second or their third? 'Cause
Yeah, second. They played Michigan State
just yesterday.
Yeah, they their legs look like they're showing it.
Back-to-back morning games is tough, and this is Central Time, so this is like
This one felt really Maryland was making everything in the first half, and to still be losing at the half.
Yeah, you're right.
It's demoralizing.
I just thought that was why I like Michigan's second half, just seeing the way they went at the half.
Michigan just looks faster, and everything is zipping around the court.
That's
That would have been lights out if that had gone down. All right, I did do a clubhouse, and I've got some picks for you guys. I will read them out now. Mark in Philly has Oklahoma State team. Mark in Philly has Oklahoma State team total over 69.5. Christian Bone has Creighton money line to beat the team that Creighton is playing today. That is UConn. Neil Williamson loves Pacers plus 4.5. Anthony Craven loves Grand Canyon minus 6.5. Kyle McDougal, who I've seen in these chats, has Oklahoma State plus 8.5 against Baylor. Andy Pace has Oregon first half and game minus 9. Lee Holbert loves Western Kentucky minus 2.5 against UAB. Nick Parton loves Iowa minus 4 against Wisconsin. Jeb Caffey with Mississippi State plus 8 and plus 4.5 in the first half. Jeb, we're going down with that one. Aiden Phelps has Wichita State minus 10 and Michigan minus 9. MK Wins has the Blues money line and Senators Oilers over 6.5. Hayden Koplow, Maryland plus 9 against Michigan. UConn money line against Creighton. Andrew Aguilera on Sunday. Bonnie's minus 2 against VCU in that championship game. Adam Stein, Arkansas minus 4.5 against Mizzou. Stephen Kors, who gave me an In the Crumbs winner last night, has Prairie View A&M minus 6.5 against Grambling. Northwestern State Nichols under 154. Jackson DeWan, Illinois minus 8 against Rutgers. Zachary Bergerson. I didn't write that one down very well. FSU minus 2.5 and Kansas money line. Tom Wright, Aston Villa, Atalanta, Leon plus 268 money line parlay. Jason Goldstein, Florida to beat Tennessee money line. Andrew Cook, Baylor, Oklahoma State over. Mississippi State money line. That one's not doing well. Rhett Schimberg, Wisconsin minus 1, Georgetown plus 3. Bryce Piment, USC money line against Colorado, and Joe Camiso ends us with Vegas Blues over 5.5.
Ev and I have been doing afternoon clubhouses that I'm loving, by the way.
Clubhouse is great.
It's a lot of fun.
I noticed a lot of the callers in there are similar people that we have in the ours as well.
Yeah.
We're kind of doing like a little bit of an offshoot of Pick Central afternoon thing. We're going to do it after Ohio State's over again today, probably 20, 30 minutes. That work for you?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll just, whenever that game is over is when we'll get on there.
You guys just going to plan your show right now in front of we're on this show.
I just wanted to mention
you're having your pre-show meeting.
Well, I just wanted to mention Clubhouse because I know you're doing it with the show. With the Pick Central guys are getting on there.
No, you guys do that every day. You've been doing some college baseball Clubhouse too.
Yeah,
right?
me and T have been doing it once a week, and man, the interest on it's huge. I mean, I'm getting so many DMs on people. We want more college baseball content. This is so awesome to see Barstool looking at this, all that. So
you're not a video game guy, right?
Online poker is my video game.
So you never played the NCAA baseball games?
I hadn't. I saw people talking about the 06 one.
They
like
were
it was
so
awesome.
good. NCAA 06 and NCAA 07. They were great. They were fantastic stuff, the college baseball games. It was it's very nostalgic. I might play that this weekend.
Okay.
What you going to do this weekend, Big F?
Probably watch some college basketball, go to the bar.
Mm-hmm. Go to the bar.
You got any sports bars around here? You like watching games or anything? No.
I'm going to shout out Green Rock. Shout out Pat. That's my guy.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that's the place to go.
That's my spot.
That's the place where people invite me to go, and I'm never going. I don't think
you've ever been invited there.
Marty and Jack invite me all the time. Why would I not get invited?
They actually invited you.
They said we want you to come to Green Rock.
Why won't you go?
Wait, hey, how you? Okay, Big Ev hangs out there. You think it's too cool a place for fucking me? We're the same motherfucking guy.
Look at your hair, Brandon.
We're not the same
cool
guy.
hair.
We're the same guy. What are we doing? We work at the same place. We do gambling. How are we not the same guy?
It's just
we're both on the verge of a heart attack.
Yeah, but
you're not cooler than me, Big F. You are not cooler than me.
I think I'm cooler than you.
Absolutely not. on no circumstance are you cooler than me.
You're too frantic.
That's good. That's pretty cool. 41 years old, working
frantic.
at Barstool, making a
but that is nothing,
boatload of money.
That has nothing to do with you're frantic. You're too nervous. A lot. I'm way more go with the flow, which is way more cool.
I'm wearing a Sandlot shirt. You're wearing a Carhartt shirt. Cooler.
No, this is cooler.
This is way cooler.
You're trying too hard.
You're trying too hard. Nobody actually wants to wear a Carhartt.
You're 41 years old. You're wearing Jordans with orange on them.
Goddamn right.
Carhartt's cool.
I love Barstool.
Wearing Jordan, and
I love Barstool.
And
See, young person, Carhartt's cool.
And I got
Carhartt's super in right now.
Yeah, you guys are trying to be cool. You don't actually know what Carhartt even is. I've got Parrot socks. So
you're trying too hard. You're doing too
Lame.
much.
There's no chance. Okay.
Also, you go up there. You just say Big Ev. They let you in.
Ooh,
They let everybody in.
Big Wow.
Not like me. They don't make a table.
I got to come out and check that out. Then.
You would say Marty, Ev, Brandon Walker. I don't know.
You hang out with Marty Mush, and you're saying you're cooler than me. I'm Brandon Walker. That's Big Ev. That's Ben Mentz. The Yak is up
Go
next.
Rebels.